Hey, baby, it's time for night talk. Let's take these off. Let's settle in. Where's my cat? My cat is all curled up. So, I wanted to talk more about the paranormal. Ooh. I wanted to talk about, because there was a documentary called, I think it's called The Howlers or whatever. But there's this idea about like living in Appalachia. They tracked paranormal activity by these mylar balloons, these blue star mylar balloons. And that's very interesting because, like, I was seeing blue star mylar balloons in the suburbs. I was like, every time I would have I would get close to a manic episode, or that I would go walking, when weird stuff would start to happen, I would see more instances of blue things, more blue cars, and just more blue in my day-to-day life. But specifically, I would see blue mylar balloons, because they would be for yard sales and things like that. They would pop up for those things, but they would just appear out of nowhere. And so I thought that was interesting that they mentioned that in a documentary about weird paranormal things that they would show up out of nowhere, or that it was some kind of weird activity. Because the human eye is attracted to the color blue, that it's supposed to be this rare thing in nature, that the human eye is drawn to the color blue. Blue sky, blueberry, blue, butterflies that are blue, bluebirds, blue water, that it's supposed to be a very calming, cool color, that it's a very refreshing color, that it's a very electric color, that it's a very but it's a very rare color in nature, so that our eyes seek that out, and we think that it's something that can be dangerous, but also can be interesting, and that our eyes seek it out, that it draws the eye, that our eyes are drawn to the color blue because of the spectrum in which it sits. So when it's not unusual that our eyes are naturally seeking out things on the blue spectrum. So that's why when you ask people what their favorite color is, most often they're going to say either blue or purple, or things on the cooler end of the spectrum, because that's where our eyes are naturally drawn to as human beings. It's very rare that a human's going to say orange, yellow. Children say yellow. Children love the color yellow, because we're naturally drawn to brighter colors as children. Yellow, orange, green is on the lower end of the spectrum, so green might be a color that people pick. What's another? But Neutrals are not normally colors that people pick because those are like in the middle end of the spectrum. Those are values rather than colors. But blue is the biggest color that people pick as the color because it draws the eye. So, paranormally speaking, because it is considered one of the most rarest colors in nature, why do you think so many corporations, Microsoft, like tech companies, a lot of back in the 90s, 80s, 90s, a lot of fast food corporations made their colors red, yellow, and blue. They would make their roofs blue, or they would make like these brightly colored things that draw the eye. But the thing about it is they've changed their colors to neutrals because they want to seem more they want to seem less they want to seem more like a cityscape rather than they want to seem less loud, an opinion now, and less boisterous and more like calm. Like they want to be like the safe space out of a storm of cacophony, like somewhere you go to escape the noise of the streets. That's why they use neutrals now. And that's why they don't play. That's why you go to places and they'll play like loud music, but they won't. When you go to sit down, like there's not a whole lot of like noise. You know what I mean? But some places like play like it'll be aggressive, where I don't know. I'm getting into like fast food stuff, but I'm talking about paranormal stuff. But blue draws the eye. So the thing about it is I think that's why one of the biggest things is like in my delusions, I look for blue things. It also goes back to David Lynch, who in his work would use blue. So that's like a consideration of like blue drawing the eye, is like that blue is considered like a paranormal thing, because it goes back to David Lynch, but it also goes back to the fact that blue in nature is considered like an otherworldly color, like a color that draws the eye, a color that is rare in nature, that one did not naturally for most of human history did not naturally see for a lot of time. And so we are naturally drawn to these colors because for a lot of human history, blue was a very rare, very hard to come by color. That it was only for like kings and for royalty to use colors like blues and purples. But, you know, a lot of like peasants did not use the color blue. And it wasn't until like, say, the Industrial Revolution, when we got denim blue jeans, that we were able to industrialize the color blue. But then blue became everywhere. We see blue all the time, and blue has been the great equalizer. We see blue all over the place. Like blue has become so normalized, and it's like a shock to the senses. You know, to see blue is so unnatural in our day-to-day lives. It's so unnaturally natural to see blue in our day-to-day lives. Like, it's like a constant like assault on the senses to see that much blue. To see red. Like, I have this red so much, just to see as much color as we see during the daytime. Like, even in like the most northern states or like places where you normally wouldn't see, it's like everywhere we live feels like a tropical paradise because there's so much color. We have so much color surrounding us at all times, in all places. Like, it's unreal. It's unheard of. Anyway, so I was talking about this documentary and about blue. I used to be triggered by the color blue. That I used to like want to avoid the color blue because like I thought that it was a very triggering color for me. That like I had to follow it if it like meant that I had to go, that it like sent me messages and things like that. That like, especially like blue cars and things like that, that I had to like follow them to the ends and like that it meant that they brought me somewhere. You know, I was thinking about like street names and like what the origins of street names were. Because I was thinking about like patterns, that sometimes I do see patterns and that sometimes patterns do mean things. That the thing about it is my brain sometimes misinterprets messages as like misfires. Because the thing about having bipolar or like having delusional disorder is that, or like having a mental illness or being neurodivergent, is that I'm constantly seeing patterns and like I'm constantly like seeing things in a way that makes me see the world in a different way than other people, and that I do have pattern recognition, and that I threat assess in ways that other people might not recognize. So when things start happening, I immediately clock something as like, this is weird, or like, isn't that weird? And like, I make connections that other people might not make connections, that like something is happening on a bigger scale than it necessarily might not be happening on. I'm like if somebody tells me something, or if I start to like, if I hear one thing and then I hear another thing and then I hear a third thing, I go, And it's like, suddenly I have put together Lego blocks that make something big based on something, and it could be a false assumption, but usually it means something bigger, that I have made something that means something big. But blue, the eye is naturally drawn to the color blue. I was thinking that that there was a lot of like movement, that there were a lot of people out and about, like more than normal, that like there was just like a lot of encroachment of people out and about, and like just so many people doing things. And it was like there was just a lot of like animals moving around and a lot of people moving around and stuff. And I was like, I wonder what that means. It's like, it just feels like there's like, we're kind of like in this preparatory stage right now, that like people are like, but I can feel the temperature difference between like last week and this week, that it's like cooled down like 10 degrees or so. Like you can feel the difference. It's not entirely noticeable. Like it's not as hot as it was last week, but it's going to heat up again by, it's just slightly cooler. I don't know how to explain it. It's just slightly cooler than it was a week ago. It's definitely not fall temperatures, but it's just infinitesimally cooler. Because like last week in July, it was like, it would be like 90 to 100 degrees. And now it's like maybe like 70 to 80 degrees. But like, I noticed the difference because we got like a series of like rainstorms, and it's slowly like cooled off slightly. But we might get a heat wave again, like mid-September. Like it might heat up again, and it might heat up through October. Because usually in September it gets like really hot. Because it's like that last little bit before like the harvest. Because it usually like heats up around then. But it's cooled off a bit right now. I don't know. I'm thinking about it. Because like September is like, it's so hot in September for some reason. And then there's like October, it'll cool off a lot. It sometimes like is warm all the way through like November lately because of global warming. Like it'll be warm all the way through November into December. But then like, although last year it was like, it was snowing by December. And usually it doesn't snow until January. Like normally you don't get the first snow until January, but it'll cool off in December. But we're supposed to get early snow this year again. I'm wearing my intuition my intuition shirt. What does it say? It says my intuition I can't read that. I can't read that. It's backwards. I don't remember what it says. And it's upside down. I think it says my intuition knows shit. It's not a very good graphically designed t-shirt. But I like it. I kind of want to read tarot cards. Would you like it if I read tarot cards tonight? Hang on a sec. You need to back up. We got the Wild Unknown Tarot. We're going to draw just a single card and then see what it says. How about that? Yeah. What do we want to know about? What do we want to know about? Let's ask the universe about election day. How's the primaries gonna go? Let's ask you about that. Ten of Pentacles in reverse. That doesn't sound so good. Okay. The Ten of Pentacles signifies material and spiritual abundance in nearly every area of your life. The number 10 usually indicates completion. In this case, the journey was well worth it. So be generous, not only with your money, but also your wisdom. Provide guidance to those who struggle. You will be rewarded tenfold. So fulfillment, abundance. So if it's reversed, it means that something may not be as fulfilling as it should be, and that there's a sense of feeling unsatisfied. So, that's not great. Got the cards all pissy. I think maybe the dissatisfaction with the last few elections. Maybe my dissatisfaction with the last few elections have got the cards all pissed off. Like, don't ask me about the elections. Look at this cat. Oh, I don't want to. Oh, I woke you up. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to take your blanket away. I was just trying to show how cute you looked. You looked all cozy. Do you want to cuddle up with me? I'm so mean. He was all cozy and cuddly, and he was all sleepy. I'm so mean. I'm glad I took a shower today. I was really needing a shower really bad. It's just the idea of, you get into these, being disabled, like, I get into these cycles where it's like the idea of taking a shower and like brushing my hair. Cause like I'll put my hair up and then like the idea of like brushing my hair out seems like a lot of work. Cause my hair is long. So like I'll put my hair up and it's like the idea of like brushing out my hair seems like so much work. Cause like I only have so many spoons per day. So like the idea of like going through the effort of brushing my hair, like I can brush my teeth every day and like I can do that. And like that's not a big deal. But like the effort of like brushing my hair and like washing, because like it's not even that necessarily like washing my body that's like the hard part. Because, like, I can jump in the shower and, like, wash my body. But the effort of, like, washing my hair can be a lot sometimes. And, like, it's just, like, the effort of, like, taking my hair down. You know what I mean? And, like, brushing it out. And, like, and washing it. It's just, like, for my neurodivergent self, it's just like, that's just sometimes a hurdle. And like, I'll get into like cycles where it seems really easy and I'll be like, yeah, I can do that. That seems like really easy and that seems manageable. And then I'll get into cycles where it seems like it's literally the hardest possible thing I could think of. Like, I don't know how people do this every day. And, like, I don't know how this is even possible. But then other times it's like, oh, yeah, this is the easiest thing in the world. I could do this. Like, oh, yeah. And people are like, oh, you don't seem like you're struggling with anything at all. And it's like, and then I struggle all the time with everything. Like any getting out of bed, like it's like the minute I seem like I'm normal is the minute that everything falls apart. Everything. Hi, Larry. You're back. Did you want to come cuddle with me? cute. You're cute. I like you. Okay. I think we wasted enough of people's time. What do you think? Boop. 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 Oh, kitten, I love you. You are cute. You are so cute. You are the cutest little guy. Oh, I love you. Oh, I love you. Oh. You want to add something to my podcast? You can't see it. If you're listening to the podcast, he came up to the mic and he's rubbing his head against the microphone. If you're just listening, he's being extra cute. He's being so adorable right now. He's just being the most adorable guy. Now he's rubbing himself against my my cord. Oh, sweet boy. Okay. Enough chatter. Enough chatter. Oh, there he goes. He's run away again. He had enough to say. I guess I should go. This is all for night talk. This is all for night talk. But thanks for listening out there in podcast land. Thanks for watching all those in YouTube land. I hope you have a great rest of your day. I will see you on the next one. Bye.